There is no doubt in my mind that John Rez and Jason Cox are at the forefront of redefining what next-generation ops and infrastructure looks like. And so I am very grateful for them to share their journeys. And I suspect that hearing their presentations will result in some interesting rethinking in your own organizations, because that is the property of the genius that is this community. So speaking of geniuses, I want to share with you one really neat thing that came out of this community. It was the Dear Auditor love letter. This is a love letter that was written to auditors and information security and compliance, apologizing for leaving them behind and saying how much we actually love them and appreciate them and would love to engage in a new dialogue. And so not only is it really cute, but it works. Scott Pruitt had shared that their head of security actually wrote back after he sent this letter saying, "I only wish I could send you a love letter back." And I thought it was just a magnificent way to reach out to the security and audit community. Not only is it disarming, but it's effective. And if you take a look at the authors, there's one person whose name, who is actually no longer with us, and that is Rob Stroud. Last month, I was so sad when I heard the news that we lost one of the members behind this amazing effort. Rob Stroud is the Chief Product Officer at ZB Labs. I've known and interacted with him for almost 15 years. He was always so full of life and energy, and it was so sad to see a fellow traveler die way before his time. He still had so much to give to this world. Marguerite and I, we pray for his family and loved ones, and it's a reminder to all of us that life is precious and often way too short. But I know that Rob was such a believer in this work, and I think he would be so happy to see where this community is going. And so where is this community right now at the end of DevOps Enterprise Summit 2018 in Las Vegas? Here are the promises that I laid out that we aspire to do with you today. We are the people who want to transform our organizations. We want to learn what we need to learn. We want to meet who we need to meet. And we want to get re-energized to keep the fight for just one more year, because we know there are people out there who are trying to, who may not get it, who are out to maybe sabotage your efforts. And so I'm hoping that you got some tools and techniques, to not only just re-energize you, but learn something that actually, helps you more effective in that mission. So by a show of applause, do you feel like we achieved that in the last 3 days? Well, then, I need your help. So here's the help that I need from you. There are two people that I need to thank. So come on up, Jeff Gallimore, and my boss and my wife, Marguerite Kim. And as they're coming up, so I can't tell you, so let me acknowledge Jeff and Marguerite in turn. So first, I cannot tell you how many crazy things Jeff Gallimore has had to do because I'm a big, hot, unorganized mess. He is actually a world-class 2, among also being a world-class 1. Not only is he writing my unfinished scripts because I didn't finish them in time, but he's coordinating and making sure that everything happens backstage smoothly enough so that it doesn't show up as something truly embarrassing or awful that you see. Over drinks sometime, I'll be happy to tell you about all the near misses that I caused, and Jeff made the save. So that's Jeff. And Marguerite, hold your applause. Marguerite is the person that allows me to do the work that I love. The work I love is to hang out with the best in the game, of which this is the community that's clearly the best in the game, to write, and of course, to program in Clojure. And at this conference, I focus on programming and the speakers, and she handles everything else. So if you appreciate having this great venue, having the information about the conference in the program and mobile app, and having it actually be accurate, having content from the conference available in a format you can share with your colleagues, whether it's slides in GitHub or Dropbox or YouTube videos, having actual food and drinks, Wi-Fi, getting books signed by their authors, having them show up on time, managing all the teams of people required to make this happen, make this event possible. That means our sponsors, the hotel staff, the IT Revolution team. That's her. So, here's my ask and the help that I need from you. If you got any value out of this week, can you please show how much you appreciate Jeff and Marguerite?
Thanks, everyone. I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of the IT Revolution staff and team. Can you guys just stand up really quickly? So all those things that Gene listed, I have a ton of help with all that. So thank you to everyone at IT Revolution and Aaron from EME Productions, who's amazing. When Gene asked, he said, I think people should really hear your voice. And my response to him was, don't you hear it enough? Really, do we really need to? And I know just in some of the interactions I've had with all of you, you guys always delight in when I share a little bit about what it's like to be Marguerite and Gene, or rather what it's like to be Gene, who lives with Marguerite. And so I'm going to show you. So about 2 months before the conference, that's me. I mean, then that's Gene. And then, and that follows all the way up until, we're on the plane. He's calling me. He's like, I have this idea about a panel. What are you trying to do to me, Jane Kim? So this is what I send him, kind of on the daily. This is what he sends me on the daily. But because of all of you, you know how something is, you're like, you're not sure how you feel about it, but then a little bit of the, the enthusiasm of others rubs off on you, and you go, hey, that's not so bad. Then, over the course of the conference, because you guys think he's so great, turns into that. So Gene really owes all of you a ton of gratitude.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you.
And this feeling lasts for, until I have to start hammering him down for London. But we ride this wave for a little while. So I would like everyone to please say thank you to Gene, because he always thanks everyone else. For whatever reason, you love him. So. And then I want to pass this off to Jeff. He's got a few closing remarks. And this guy, he's like our bouncer a little bit. Anything that we don't want to do, we're like, how about we make Gallimore do it?
It's true. So I hope everybody's happy because you just helped a marriage today. How about that?
True, very true, yeah.
All right, a few more updates and parting thoughts before you get into the planes, trains, and automobiles to take you back home. Remember, we've got the session slides available on GitHub and Dropbox. We're continuing to post those and make those available. Go there, get them. We also have the videos. We're starting to post the videos from some of the sessions. We've already started posting them, and they may change. So if you've already shared some of the links, just make sure that they still keep working. We're going to continue to post those to the IT Revolution YouTube channel. With the content, the presentations, and the videos, these are intended to share. There's a lot of content that's out there that we want you to share. Whether that's the presentation, the videos, the books that you got, the sponsor swag that you've gotten from the expo hall, and most importantly maybe is your stories and your learnings that you can take back with you and talk to the people that you work with and work around. And in this context, just so everybody is clear, what happens in Vegas is not intended to stay in Vegas. All right. Speaking of sharing, you know the drill. Get the session feedback in. And speaking of feedback, we have gotten some feedback from you all, from many of you, and had conversations about the burnout-related sessions that we've had over the last 3 days. Dr. Christina Maslach, And then there was also a burnout panel today where we talked to many of you and heard your thoughts both in Slack and in person. This is a really important topic. And we created a burnout channel in Slack to continue that conversation. We can ask questions, we can discuss strategies and tactics to address burnout, and we can share our stories to help others and let people know that you're not alone. And if we've learned anything, that we can tackle really big problems as a community. So let's address this together. Because it is all about community. It is all about community. This is about community. You've probably heard this proverb that goes something like this. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go as a group. Well, science in our experience has told us that trade-offs that conventional wisdom say exist don't exist. The State of DevOps report has said this for years, that stability and throughput move together. You can have both. So I'm saying that the trade-off doesn't exist for this either. That we can go far, we can go fast, we are not alone, we can go together. In fact, if we go together, if we get together, we can go faster. So who wants to do this again next year? Well, you're in Vegas, and you're in luck. Next year, October 28th through 30th, 2019, we'll be back here in the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas, and we will have this great show again.
Oh, I just have one other anecdotal thing to share. You are all a very thirsty bunch. And I was just talking with Aaron, who is our event producer. We consumed an additional 250 gallons of coffee and tea over the last 2 days. So that's an average of about $17 per person, and I am on Venmo, and I accept PayPal, so if any of you feel like that, no, I'm just kidding. But so it's duly noted, and you guys are thirsty and tired. So we'll have more coffee next year.
I think you've got one more favor to ask,
All right.
Gene.
Yes, if you could do us a favor, we'd like to take a selfie together. So if everyone can, what is the instructions?
Stand up.
Yes.
Lean in. The camera is here and here.
Okay.
Okay.
Push towards the middle.
If you can't see the camera can't see you.
Oh.
All right,
So what do we do?
Well,
we're going to go right here.
Wait, is this right? This feels weird. This feels
Why
weird,
did they
yeah.
see my butt?
I don't see the. I don't see that yet.
Okay. Johnny.
All right, we good?
Are we going to have a countdown?
Okay.
Okay.
On the count of 3, everybody say, get together. 1, 2, 3.
Get together.
Yeah, make some noise.
All right.
Thank you.
See you next year.